walk down the street because my brain that always wants to, I have like FOMO brain where I'm like, oh, am I missing out on some sort of experience I should be having? If I'm at a coffee shop and everybody's working, I'm like, right, this is like a normal thing to do. Like this is, the social proof is around me.
Do you get like an adrenaline drop right after you stop streaming? Or does it kind of carry? You just go to bed?
I think when I stop streaming, my brain is mush for like the first,
Sure.
especially when I first started streaming, like I would literally have like an hour refractory period where I was just like, do not, if you say something to me, it's going to bounce off my dome. I'm not going to hear it. Like,
It's literally so true. Anyone here who's ever tried to stream, you know exactly what he's talking about. Immediately after my stream, no matter what, I take 30 minutes. I get on my phone and I lay on my bed, like tummy down, and I scroll. And I'm just like. And then after about 30 minutes, my brain is not mush anymore. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do today? But that takes, that part is so frustrating. The fact that you get like this like fatigue. Oh my God, it's so annoying.
Nowadays, not so much, but again, every aspect of my life is regimented. I'm done streaming. I am either going to take my dog to the park and then play basketball with friends, or I am going to eat dinner, walk my dog, and then watch anime for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have like a show that I'm going to watch.
Right.
Doing
Like
something like that after you've accomplished the thing you were going to do.
Yeah.
Oof.
So for me, it's like I don't have a single moment in the day that goes to waste.
That feels very much like a not it feels like a coping strategy, but it feels like a healthy thing to do for like, it feels like you found the healthy thing to do for the kind of brain that you have.
Yeah.
This is exactly how I feel about my OCD. I have managed to really work on all of the things I hated about having OCD, and I've kept all of the things that I like. So I still get frustrated when I see a mess, but seeing the mess forces me to clean it because the frustration is too big. It's like overwhelming. Like I can't think about anything else. So yeah, I've you can keep some parts of your brain. Like I always like, I'm upset that I have social anxiety, but I try to look on the positive. And having social anxiety, for example, it's nice to be socially aware because I'm so concerned that people around me are being frustrated or annoyed or whatever at me existing. That I'm constantly looking. I'm always like, and I'm very, very hyper aware of anything that happens. And I will take like notes afterward, not like physical notes, like mental notes of like, I don't know if I came off too mean. So I'm going to send them a message after and say like, hey, I'm sorry if I came off too aggressive. You know, which is very helpful when you did actually come off too aggressive. You know, like I was talking to a friend and they do streaming, and I was just giving some advice and some tips, and I was saying like, this is what worked for me. You know, like obviously what works for you is going to be different, blah, blah, blah. And I like afterward, I was like, oh my God, was I preachy? Was I like an annoying, preachy person, like telling someone how to run their stream? And I was like, I'll keep a mental note to send a message to say sorry if I came off too preachy. And then afterward, like the next day or like the day of, I don't remember, they were like, hey, and like also thank you for all like the advice. Like it means a lot, like to hear about it from someone like you. Like I really appreciate it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Nice. I hated the anxiety of trying to give a good impression. I'm like committed to the cause. I'm committed to being a people pleaser. But that's cool. But that's cool because I feel like I've met people who don't have enough anxiety, which is a weird sentence to say, but I feel like it's a true sentence. Some people who are kind of assholes because they just are not recognizing their behavior. You know what I mean? Like the type of person to take some of your food without asking or saying anything in the middle of a conversation. Someone you don't maybe know that well. And it's like, okay. I don't think at any point in their brain there's anything malicious occurring. In fact, they probably are doing it because they feel comfortable around you. But it's easy to see that and be like, you need to be more aware of your behavior, you know? I'm riddled with anxiety, so I smoked weed 12 out of 4 hours of the 24 hours were granted in a day. We need to redistribute wealth and anxiety. Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I wake up every day at the same time. I eat pretty much the same meals. I tweak it around a little bit, but like, I will eat the same exact meal at the same exact time for 6 months to 8 months on end, without getting bored of it and loving it like it's the first time I'm having it.
And then something clicks, and then you switch to something else.
And then one day I'll be like, I'm disgusted by this food now. I can't eat this. And then I switch it, and then for another 6 months I eat the same thing. And like, obviously I let loose every now and then, you know, I have dinners and whatnot.
And then it'll cycle. Like, I had a ravioli period. I only wanted to eat ravioli for breakfast, and that was it. And then I was like, I can't eat this anymore. And then I did nothing but eat oatmeal every single day for breakfast. And then I was like, I can't eat this anymore. And then I had, I think like, I would have like a mandarin orange and like a yogurt or something. I don't remember. I ate that for months, you know? And I was just like, that's just the way that it is. You know what I mean? Just the way that it is. I feel that. Yes.
But overall, like, literally every single day, my training, my reading, and also the podcast I'm listening to like try to keep up to date with what's going on. My research time, it's always the same every single day. For a lot of people, when they hear that, they go, "That's insane. How the fuck do you live like that? That sounds awful." I love it. Yeah, because I've lived on this planet when I didn't do that, and I did not
hated it.
Existing like that. It was way too chaotic.
I didn't like the person that I was. I felt like a failure. I hated it. I hated every part of it. It was terrible. Ever since, like, people will ask all the time, and they'll be like, oh, when I tell them that I stream at 7 a.m. in the morning, like, I'll go to a party because, like, it's a friend's birthday, and I'm like, I just want to go say hi, maybe have a little bit of food, and then go back home. And I'll show up, and then I'll be like, hey, I'm going to be heading out after I've spent what I think is an acceptable amount of time. And they're like, oh my God, why? And I'm like, oh, well, I have to stream at 7. And they're like, why? And honestly, I like it. I like streaming at 7. Not just because it's a good time slot, but also because I love ending my stream and it's 1 o'clock. Like, we're at 6 hours, which, by the way, I just want to say I delivered on my promise yesterday that we would have a long stream today since we didn't have a long stream yesterday. We only had like an hour long stream yesterday. But I've been streaming for 6 hours. It has not felt like 6 hours. It has felt like we've been watching for an hour and like maybe an hour and a half is what it feels like. Which is crazy, but that's insane, by the way. But when I end my stream, it'll probably be like 2 p.m. I have 2 to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. to do anything I want. Anything. That's so sick. You know what I mean? Would you copy strike Clips channel on YouTube if I made one? No. The only channels that I would ever copyright strike are like ones that I feel like are clipping me in a malicious way or something like that. That's it. Like anyone who's not operating in good faith, basically. So yeah, that's I just wanted to say that. I just want to say, like, I love morning streams. I love having a schedule. I love having something that forces me to wake up because I have a really hard time waking up in the morning. It's really difficult for me. I actually struggle with this on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I tend to wake up later in the day, which is something I've been currently trying my best on to improve. But I will it feels good that I will wake up at like 6 a.m. You know, I start the day early and I end the day early and I have time to do anything I want. What do I usually do from 2 to 8 p.m.? Well, lately it's been moving. It's basically exclusively been moving. Usually it is a mix between responding to emails and messages and DMs about random miscellaneous shit. Like there's like 3 sponsor emails that I have to read and respond to and see if it's bullshit or it's not. Like I'm sitting on right now, but I haven't found the time to do it because I've been busy. And then some portion of that time is usually spent going to fucking doctor's appointments or dentist appointments or whatever. And then some portion of that is spent either doing some research or some reading. Some portion of that is spent doing some cleaning and maintenance, getting food, showering, working out, whatever. Well, actually, I work out in the morning. And then gaming. Recently, it's been Baldur's Gate 3. But it changes times, you know what I mean? I think before Baldur's Gate, I was playing Solasta. Before that, RimWorld? So, yeah. Thanks for streaming at 7 a.m. My grave shift ass gets home. Your stream are always cozy. Oh, thank you, Naughty Reaper. We're the most oppressed minority denim. Yeah. And this is coming from someone who used to be a pretty avid night owl. Like I was a night owl through and through. Like I would wake up at noon and I would sleep at 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. No matter what, all the time. Who is best girl and why is it Shadowheart? It is not Shadowheart, okay? Shadowheart has grown on me, but it's not Shadowheart, okay? Best girl is clearly Karlach. Let's talk about it. I have grown a liking. I've enjoyed the Laysdale romance, I'm not gonna lie. But what has really taken my heart? The Gale plot is so good. It's so good. I recently got the okay, sorry. I'm gonna geek out for 2 seconds. Gale is such a beta. What? No, he's great. Stop. How dare you? Okay, shut the fuck up. But what was I talking about? Sorry, I'm so distracted. I'm so distracted. Gale would be perfect if you looked like the vampire twink instead. Shut the fuck up, okay? I will not accept Gale slander in here, okay? I went in there thinking I was gonna romance Asterion, and then he was kind of an asshole, and he's kind of like evil. This is not spoilers, in my opinion. And Gale has won my heart completely. Completely. Friendship with Asterion has ended. Friendship with Gale. Okay, Gale doesn't shut up. Oh my god, you know what? You're cringe. Okay? You're fucking cringe. You're cringe and not based, okay? Fuck you. What was I talking about? Having characters randomly be naked is very funny. If anyone doesn't do this, you need to do this immediately. Me and my friends who are playing, we have it set up so that everyone at camp is naked. Fully naked. Okay? And it's very funny to go to camp and have a cutscene and the character is like dick and balls completely out, but you're fully clothed. I walked into the Will cutscene where he's like dancing, but he's dancing with his dick and balls out, and he's like, "Do you want to dance?" And I'm dancing with my clothes, but he's dancing, and he's like, "It's very funny. It's very funny." I was laughing for hours. Okay, moon out, dick out. Exactly. You fucking get it, man. You get it. You like Gale because he is not present at all. You'll never be a goddess of magic. Shut the fuck up. No, I like Gale because he's a genuine person. Okay. And I'm biased to wizards and like spellcasters. And I always have been. You know. I'm getting a little shy talking about it. I like Gale because if I was ever to play a D&D for real, he's the type of character I would want to RP as. Wizard, fucks, knows goddesses. Not just knows goddesses, fucks goddesses. Okay, dates goddesses. Reels low like. Thank you so much for the tier 1. Thank you. But anyways, have you found Mince and Boo yet? I don't think so. Gail, I want to be a god, genuine person. Wrong. He didn't want to be a god. Okay. He wanted to bring a gift to his lover. Okay. And he was hoping that that would be enough to prove his competence. Okay. So Asterion was literally suggesting taking control of all of the people with tadpoles. Wait till Act 3. I don't believe you. I try to like Asterion, but every time I'm freeing slaves, he disapproves. Like, fuck you, man. Exactly. Okay, we're done. We're done talking about this. We're done. Okay. Let's try and finish this video. Shall we? Let's try.
Chaotic.
Right.
This is also chaotic, but I thrive in this chaos because it's like organized in a way that I want it to be.
Each stage of the chaos ends. I like that. Like my GCal is obsessive. I just like having things adjacent, not having that little space where I'm like, is this when I shower? What do I do? It's like, no, I shower at this time. Yeah. And that way I know that I've missed it, or I will at least at some point do it. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like doing the podcast so much versus like BB, who's currently wrangling the dogs.
They've quieted down. They probably petered out.
She's been helping me out with a bunch of production stuff, and I've been putting off recording an ad for 2 weeks. It was due like the following day.
Oh yeah, that is the worst part about it.
But recording with her on the phone, done, easy, immediately. And my video still isn't finished.
That's really interesting because it's like I'm gonna think about that. I might take advantage of that and like try to get help in that regard because there are a lot of things that I just like always put off, and I will never do it. I will never ever like parking tickets. It sounds so basic, and it's just like it's literally going to take 10 seconds. Yeah, and I just will not do it, and it just piles up for a year.
Yeah, I mean, I remember putting off like when my insurance changed. Like this is years ago. I was at Patreon. I remember putting off a doctor's appointment for like 6 months that I really needed to like go check out. And then when I finally did it, the call took 90 seconds.
Oh yeah.
And that like juxtaposition felt insane to me, but like it was so hard for my brain to get over that hump.
I am still right now, I think about 40% of my brain has been taken up with this, what feels like the worst, biggest obligation. And part of it's the trauma associated with it. But I have a tiny 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum task to do for my visa application.
Oh,
the current visa is amongst the most important things in my entire life right now, because there's only X amount of time left. Every day I wake up and I go, wow, this could be the last August 10th of my time in America. You know, it is front of mind all the time. I wake up thinking about it, go to sleep thinking about it. I have done for years at this point. I have to update my resume for the application. The rest of it's ready. And
it's a devastating
I have to write it. I have to update it. I have to like change a couple dates and like alter the description.
No, I totally get it.
It's been 7 weeks.
It sounds like such a simple thing, and it really is a simple thing, but I totally understand.
Well, as simple as easy, right? Like they're not quite the same. And sometimes a hard thing is very easy because you can just focus on it.
Yeah. I get it. But the worst part about it is it weighs on you.
Yeah.
It being always in the back of your mind constantly. Yeah. I got to get new.
The weight is just so it's if you do not experience this, consider yourself fucking lucky. Okay? Consider yourself genuinely fucking lucky. I'm not talking about putting things off. I think everyone on some level puts things off. Obviously executive dysfunction is different than occasionally putting things off. However, I'm talking about something weighing on you. Like my move-in date was, I think, like August 20th or August 21st or something like that. I don't remember. It was during the hurricane. So whenever that was my move-in date. And I couldn't move anything because of the fucking hurricane. And I remember for the month or 2 months prior to moving, about 20% of my brain was always occupied with the fact that I have to move. Like there's 20% of my brain that I'm not allowed to dedicate to any other task because it is too busy being concerned about the moving process. Which is just the worst emotion on the planet. It fucking sucks. It sucks so bad. Like, I need to do this. It's really stressing me out, but I just somehow can't do it. I will think about it until it's done, but I'll never get it done. I should just give up. Yeah. You have to set in, like, the only way to get around that is, like, setting up reward mechanisms or setting up something that makes you want to do it. And for me, it is that I have a strong desire to want to be the best version of myself. And so every time I experience the executive dysfunction, I think, do I want to be the type of person that doesn't fucking install these shelves after months? I know if I don't do it, they're going to sit there for 3 months before I do it. And do I want to be that fucking type of person? No, I don't want to be that type of person. I'm going to get up right fucking now and I'm going to do it. And like, I basically like hype myself up and then I do it, which is, it's also been something that I think it's something that I picked up from having anxiety and being a people pleaser. And I've kind of carried it over into ADHD, which has been really cool. You know what I mean? It's been very cool. To quote Hit, I keep improving. Yeah. It's just, I can't. I fucking can't. This country can't even figure out healthcare. Why does anybody want to live here? Yeah, it's fucking sad. Yeah. It's like the penguin in Happy Feet where he tricks himself to fall off the edge. Yeah, because it's like, for example, being too nervous to ask a stranger a question. A very mild question, like, hey, do you know which way the fucking Starbucks is? I don't fucking know. Do I want to be the type of person that's too scared to ask someone a simple question? No, I don't want to be that person. I want to be the fucking Giga Chad version of myself that can talk to anyone cold call, not cold call, but you know what I mean. Anyone. I want to be that person. I want to be that fucking cool person that can do it, that can talk to anyone in any circumstance. So I will force myself to do it. I'll be like, no, I don't want to be this person. I want to be that person. You know what I mean? And I feel like that helped. I don't know how many people this was probably not like a very effective start. I'm not a therapist, okay? But for me, that's been the biggest motivator for me. That's been the biggest, because I am not a social butterfly by any stretch of the imagination, but I refuse to give up. It's actually probably, now that I'm thinking about it, wow, this is a revelation. I'm experiencing a revelation on stream. It's actually probably because I'm very competitive and I'm a sore loser. Yeah, now I'm like discovering new things about myself. That's very crazy. Very league coded. No, I've always been this way. I've always been a competitive person. I used to not get along with kids in kindergarten because I was too competitive. Or like elementary school, I didn't have friends because I was too competitive and annoying to be around. And then I was like, this is not good. And then I developed anxiety because no one liked me. So, you know, really living life to the max here, you know, really poggers. Are you counterphobic? What does that mean? I feel the same way. To me, it's important to also have a positive role model that can help you build the behaviors you want to adopt. Exactly. 100%. Yeah. It's like, that is my emotion. Exactly. Like, I will see someone who can do something so effortlessly. And in my head, I'm like, I refuse to accept that I can't do that. I have like this undying will that I refuse to be someone who can't ever do something. I can do anything, okay? I live by the motto, I can do anything I put my mind to, which I know is like lame or like very, very like childish advice, but I stand by that statement, okay? I can do anything I put my mind to, and I will. And if I want to be that type of person, I will be that type of person, and no one's gonna fucking stop me, all right? My depression is stubborn, but I'm even more stubborn. Exactly. You know what I mean? I'm too stubborn. I'm too stubborn. Counterphobic is being drawn to confront things you're afraid of. No, God, no. I hate it. Mm-mm. Things I'm afraid of, I will avoid indefinitely. Are you Scorpio? I don't appreciate that, man. I don't appreciate you clocking me like that. Don't appreciate that.
I have to get new parking passes. It's been like a year and a half. I'm still working on the old parking passes. And I'm hoping that the fucking parking people know the car and won't ticket it.
Right.
Sometimes they do.
Yeah.
They started targeting my car recently. And my brother's always in my house. So he's always taking my car out and putting it in the fucking, taking it out of the driveway. So now it's like I have to get it. It's been a year and a half and it's just not that difficult of a task. I just got to make a phone call. I got to go there and like deal with it. I've done it before, but it's just, I just keep pushing it back and it's just like, it's like a bag that I'm carrying with me everywhere I go.
It sucks. Yeah. It sucks because it is so simple to like get rid of in theory. Right. But then
can't do it.
Right. The term for what me and Jordan were both describing is body doubling, and I couldn't fucking remember it, so I had to look it up. But body doubling, it's like when it's a coping, it's like an ADHD coping strategy, which is just like having someone present, like while you're.
I didn't know that.
It is very like I've always pursued really, really regimented self-care and like house care, especially keeping space.
Even the competition for motivation is ADHD. Check out the link. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I'm going to be honest, Chad. If anyone deals with executive dysfunction, I have the perfect solution for you. This works 100 out of 100 times. This has basically never failed me. I will make a to-do list, or I will set in my brain. Let me adjust this. I sit down at some time in the day and I write all of the things I don't want to do that I haven't done in months. Okay. That's step number 1. And that part's easy. That part's so easy. And if anything, it's therapeutic to write it all down and be free, you know? So it's like respond to those emails, file those quarterly taxes you haven't filed, you know? Stuff like that. Like things that I know I've been putting off for months. And I need to stop putting them off. So I write everything down in a list. I look at the nice list. I have a nice list of things that I've been ignoring for like anywhere from like a month to a year. Okay? All right. So you have to do that part. You have to. What do you call it? Executive dysfunction? Yes. Now, are you guys ready for this? This is step 2. Step 2 is unforgettable. The advice I'm about to give you is life-changing. Okay? You guys need to be ready for this. Fucking sit down or stand up, okay? Before I give you guys this crazy advice in your lives, before I say something that's going to change your lives forever really quickly. Come on, girl. Just send Hasan that snatch. You can finally get it. Just waiting for her back to be blown out. How many times do we have to go over this? You are getting banned for being cringe. That's a separate statement. But how many times do we have to go over this that I'm only attracted to twink men? How many times? How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Okay? When Hasan becomes a twink, I will be interested. Until that point, I am not interested. I am not interested in a big oaf. That's not for me. Okay? I know what I like. Okay? And I know other people like other things. Okay? I'm just saying. That's where I stand. Okay? That's where I stand. Different strokes for different folks. Okay? We have to go over this. Yeah, if Hasan was like 100 pounds lighter, that'd be perfect. And shorter. Perfect. This is femboy erasure. So you're into Finster? Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, of course. That is yes. Yes. It's not even a question. Of course I am. Who isn't? So anyways. Moving on. The advice, the game-changing advice, okay? Do you like Michael Cera? I used to not, but he's grown on me, honestly. He has. So, let's talk about time. What you do is you wake up in the morning and you clear your mind. Clear your mind. You have to dedicate yourself to this, okay? You sit down and clear your mind. Just sit there for like 2 minutes and try your best to completely empty your brain, except for fine dining and cleaning. And breathing. Just completely empty it. Try and get to the most calm you can get, okay? And once you're there, you pick one thing. One thing, and your goal is to do that one thing today. Don't worry about all the things you have to do. Don't worry about the fact that you haven't done your taxes. Don't worry about the fact that you still haven't installed those shelves. Don't worry about the fact that you need to clean the fridge. Don't worry about any of that. No. You pick one thing. And you do that one thing. And that's it. And it is the best thing it has worked for me more than anything else. Because the thing can be like 15 minutes long. You know what I mean? Like it can be the shortest task. It just has to be a task that you haven't done and you've been wanting to do it for longer than like a month. And I mean, because like, think about it. That's what you do if you have like ADHD and you struggle with, for example, I have an appointment today. Well, that means I can't do anything else today. I have an appointment at 1:30. Well, that means I have to wait and do nothing this morning. And then when I come back, I also have to do nothing. You just take that concept and apply it for the shit that you don't want to fucking do. Exactly the same. Just like, you know what? No pressure. I'm not going to be hard on myself. I'm just going to pick the easiest thing on this list. And that's what I do. I know some people are like, you got to pick the hardest things first. Fuck off. No. I pick the easiest thing on the list and I do that. And all I have to worry about, and in my head, I tell myself, I will feel accomplished if I just do this one thing. And when you do it, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel like a god. You're going to feel like a god, dude. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. This has been one of the things that has helped me so much. So a recap, write a list of all the things that you haven't done that you want to do. Ideally, the next morning, you wake up, spend like 2 minutes. I don't want to call it meditating, but just 2 minutes, like getting as calm as you can. Maybe after breakfast, maybe before breakfast, whatever works for you. And then look at the list or just remember the list and just pick the easiest thing on the list. Okay. You don't fight the boss battle first. You fight the minions first. You fight like level 1, level 2, and then you do the boss battle. Okay. It's exactly how you do it. Exactly. I take 5 minutes when I'm making my morning coffee to figure out what I want to accomplish that day. Yeah. And if you start feeling like...
Then your boss tells you that you don't need to do that one thing anymore and now do these 3 new things instead.
Yeah. And once you feel like you've leveled up, you feel like, oh yeah, I could do more than one thing. When you're feeling ready, okay? When you're feeling ready, you can even do 2 things. Okay? But you have to break everything up into the smallest bits and pieces you can. If you don't break them up, you're never going to fucking do them. I promise. I found you today. I really resonate with everything you're talking about. I always knew I had ADHD, but officially got my diagnosis last summer. My life has changed so much for the better since I started looking into the brain science behind ADHD and why I do everything I do. Appreciate everything you say. I feel like we live the same life. Yeah, it's just like I got this brain worm and my brain doesn't want to do stuff. You're fucking kidding me? Which, like, this is an example where therapy meets psychiatry, right? Getting prescribed drugs that make it easier to function like a normal person. Normal maybe is not the best word. I think neurotypical would be a better word there. is just part of the solution. You still need to get the rest of your solution by it's like on your own or whatever, or with like a doctor or something like that, right? Therapist. All right. The weird snail in my ear telling me to get a treat instead of working. God, yes. I deserve it. I earned it. Oh my God. You know, Chad, I paused this video. I unpaused it at 1:13 and I was like, I just got to sit here for 10 minutes and we'll be done with the video. And I've already gone like, I don't even know how long. We're finishing this fucking video.
Tidy, clean, etc. I've always liked the idea of, wow, I just finished my dish directly in the dishwasher, so-and-so. This is my first time living with someone. Me and Ethan is online, live together up the way because we moved back to LA at the same time. I'd always do it now. The fact that there's someone that will see it, or not even judge me for it, but it's going to inconvenience them, or we're going to run out of dishes. And Ethan, you know, my little son, he's not going to have anything to eat. And now I don't know what it is. There is like this unconscious, maybe it's partially a kindness, but also just a responsibility thing. I also know how miserable I'll be with, once there's a bowl on my desk, there's going to be 40 in like a few days, and then they just spiral. I have to stop it. I have to cut the hydra's head off.
Denim balls.
Thank you for the 23 months. There will be stuff on the walls soon, okay, guys?
100%.
Oh God.
It's very quick to like unwind,
Right.
and then have all of that fall apart.
Yeah, I've had that happen like a number of just like simple things that change. Like if you move or you have like a trip or something that like throws everything out of whack, getting back into the regiment,
impossible.
I think it's like the hardest, like that critical period. It's like if I don't get it back immediately, then we're in uncharted waters.
It's bookended too, right? Like right before we went to Canada, I was useless.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I hate trips for that reason, which is why when I do have a trip coming up, I make sure that I have my streaming schedule set up.
Yeah.
When I went to Japan, I streamed 6 to 8 hours every single day when I was in Japan.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
That was crazy, by the way. I would not, when I go to Japan, because I know I want to travel there, I am not fucking streaming. I'm sorry if that makes me a cunt, but I'm chilling. I'm gonna enjoy my vacation, okay? I'm sorry. Droopy Doo, thank you so much for the 2 months. Thank you. Maybe like 1 or 2 IRL streams. You know, I'm going to enjoy my vacation. Hasan is just a fucking freak. Exactly. Yeah.
It's because it sounds like you can't quit, but what it really is you need the regiment to keep
No,
it's everything else that would get
but
shitty,
but it still fucks up a lot of other stuff. Like I didn't work out, you know what I mean? I didn't follow on my diet, and then all of that stuff
it's so
falls
hard
apart,
to get back
and then
into
I feel
it.
shitty about it, and then it makes it even worse. It makes it even worse and harder to recover from. But you know,
which by the way, another bit of advice or like things that have worked for me. I know if I start a task and I stop, I will never finish the task. I'm not sure how many of you guys experience the emotion of writing your paper or your homework the minute before, or your project, like the night before you have to turn it in. And you're like, no, I have to stay up all night doing this. Now, how many of you guys, when you went to school, this happened to me many times, where I was like, you know what? This time, I'm going to get a head start. You know, maybe the teachers are onto something when they say, you know, if I start early, I'll be done early, and then I can get it out of the way. So I would get home that day, and I'd be like, writing my paper. I'd get 90% of the way done. And I'd be like, oh, wow, it's not even due in another 3 weeks, and I did 90% of it? Oh, I'm pretty tired. I'll finish this some other time. And then I wait till the last minute, and then I finish it. It's still the night before. And so now, if I start a task, I try my best to finish it. Because I would rather have poorly finished tasks than have nothing finished. Okay? I refuse. I know I'm not going to pick it back up.
I was the opposite. I got it done right away and wouldn't sleep until it was done.
That's so sick, dude. That's so sick. Oh my God. How many minutes do we have left? We actually only have 6 minutes left. We actually are almost done. I'm so proud of us, okay? yeah, yeah.
At the end of the day, at least when I come back, because I've had this routine for so long, almost 4 years now,
Yeah.
that immediately I'm like, as soon as I touch down on U.S. soil, I go and I train with my trainers at 8 a.m. the next morning.
Ooh.
And then I'm back in it. I just like,
Oh, I
you know,
wish.
The template. You don't spend a single day off.
yeah,
So
no,
it doesn't,
I can't.
Yeah, we want to go.
I
at
love
some
Japan.
point. Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, I got to figure it out. I'm technically on a certain point where I shouldn't leave the country. For
Oh, yeah.
Once the application's processing or whatever. But I think what I need to explain to them is that I have a katana already and I don't know what to do with it.
Right.
I don't know
Yeah.
what,
And
where
they'll
to,
say
like,
you have to go defend your honor.
Yeah.
then I'll do this and they'll die.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah,
just get cut up in
you'll
little pieces.
slice the immigration.
Yo, wait, I mean, I feel when we were coming through immigration back into the States.
I wish I had my fucking katana.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So we were doing the immigration stuff at the Toronto airport because, you know, US and Canada, good relations, I guess. And I like went straight through because, you know, US guy, they were
Hell
like,
yeah.
welcome back, King. You know, high fives all around.
They're like, please, sir.
Yeah. And then
What up, my boy? Shooting me immediately.
and then Jordan like starts talking to the guy, and then I just come around and I'm like waiting, and then one of the other attendants was like, "You can't loiter here. You have to keep going." And I was like,
You should
"Okay."
have been like, I'm an American, bitch.
yeah. What do you mean?
1 million subscribers
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
So
hold on.
Step away.
2 million now, actually. But
Just shooting you in the
but then the guy was being a dick to you.
Yeah, hey man. What's this look. Who knows what happens on the Patreon episode? SadBoyz, some bullshit. Patreon.com/SadBoyz. Maybe I'll say anything. I could say anything at all. But what I'll say on here, on the public, reviewable by anyone episode, is that I respect the work they do. I'd say honestly,
Keeping America safe.
Yeah.
Keeping America safe.
not back the blue, but back whatever color they wear.
Yeah,
Big
green
thumbs up.
sometimes.
Yeah, of course. And hey, man, not at all was your behavior clearly some Stanford prison experiment bullshit, where the only way you can come is by putting down a guy that's better looking than you. I think what bothers me about it is not so much, he was just being like really obstinate, and there was, you know, on my current visa, there's paperwork that, and this has not been communicated to me, you know, legalese, whatever, where you are supposed to have it with you all the time. Now, that some people may claim like, well, it was the rules. You should have covered that. Now, that's fine with me. Turned out the only thing he had to do was like literally 5 seconds on his computer to like mark. Didn't have the paperwork this time. Make sure to bring it. If it happens again, it's an issue. It was a yellow card, right? Like I shouldn't really be an issue. Man, my heart rate, I don't get heated about shit. My fucking heart rate is through the ceiling. It's so weird. But I think what I resent about it is that he was just being super obstinate and then just refusing to give me an answer on what was next. And I think he's very used to being able to intimidate people with the dog whistle of, wow, something might happen, maybe you're stuck here. That I kept saying, like, I don't think he's used to people being willing to like soft challenge him. I was like, okay, understood, my apologies. What should we do?
Yeah.
And he wouldn't answer it. Like, he would just be like, well, it's supposed to be with you. I'm like, you know what you're doing. You're delaying this because the answer is, well, I don't have to do fucking shit. I have to do something real quick
Yeah,
on
it's
my
like
laptop.
I'm trying to
thumbs up.
teach you a lesson or something.
And
yeah.
it was
I fucking hate these. Not related at all, but similar vibe. I went to the Home Depot to get a block of wood because, as you guys know, I like to upgrade my cat towers because I feel like the cat towers are usually not very soft and the platforms are never big enough. So I like to go to the Home Depot, get a block of wood. Logan, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, raiders. I like to go buy a nice block of wood, drill it like Shabibo, exactly. And then I buy some foam and some cloth at the Joann's, and then I put it together, and my cats love it. And so I go to the Home Depot. I'm like, this should be about the same. I find like a piece of wood. It's like the right thickness, right size, and everything. And I go to get it cut because the wood is too big, not sexually. And I go to like grab a worker, and I'm like, hey, can I get this wood cut? And they're like, we can't. It's too small. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? What do you mean it's, It's 4 feet long. It's a 4-foot block of wood. What do you mean it's too small? And I'm like, can I talk to like someone else? Like, can I talk to, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, I can get you the assistant manager. Pulls the assistant manager. I'm like waiting. Assistant manager's like, yeah, we can't cut that. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I've done this many times before. It's never been a fucking problem. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, after a certain length, we can't cut it. I'm like, but I haven't, I got this from your shelf. He's like, we can't do it because like, see, if we cut it like this, it'll be too thin. I'm like, I didn't even tell you which way I was going to cut it yet. I was going to cut it the other way, actually. So this rule that he had said, we can't cut it if it's under a foot. I was like, I wanted you to cut it this way. And this is 4 feet. So what's the problem? He's like, well, the problem is that the workers have to feed it through the saw cutter and it's a danger. And I'm like, I've been to Home Depot so many times, they don't shove the wood in. And I told him this. I said, they pull the saw down and then they pull it back up. The wood doesn't move. And he looked at me, he's like, yeah, we just can't do it. I was so mad. Like, my emotions, I was so angry. Like, the rage. I could not explain it. I couldn't explain to you the rage that I felt. And so, very cuntily, I didn't end up doing anything with the information, but very cuntily, actually not at all. Internally, it was very cunty. But externally, I was like, oh, okay, well, like, that's okay. Could I know who your district manager is? I just want to know when they changed the policy. He's like, yeah, it's this person. I'm like, okay, thank you so much. I look forward to contacting them. And then I left. Did I contact them? No. Did I make that guy feel bad? Yes. Did I make him concerned? Yes. And guess what? I went to another Home Depot that was 10 minutes away. Surprise, surprise. They cut the wood just fine. What a shocker. What a fucking shocker. I've had it. I was so mad. Like, I can't explain it. Like, the saw was perfectly fine. They totally could. And the problem, the offensive part for me was that he was trying to lie to me. He was like, yeah, well, with the way that the saw is, they have to shove it into the thing and it's dangerous for the workers. And I look him straight in the eyes. I'm like, I've been here before. The workers just pull the saw down and up. They don't shove it. Yeah, we changed policy. It's like, you're lying directly to my face and you don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Actually, fuck you. God, I was so mad. I was so mad in that moment. There's something infuriating about people that are on like power trips that just drives me insane. It just drives me insane, dude. God. And it was literally a 10-second cut. It was a 10-second cut. Because I went to the other Home Depot, wasted a bunch of my own fucking time. And guess what? The worker was like, what do you want? I was like, can you cut it in half? Puts it on, turns the machine on, puts the pin code in, because obviously it's dangerous material, pulls it down. Here you go. I was so mad. Anyways, yeah, fuck those people.
Completely. I think what bothers me about it is that people that abuse even a soft position of power is just like...
Because I was not mad at the workers. This is a very good point. I was not mad at the workers. Like, the workers, their fucking minimum wage job, like, they just listen to whatever the fucking manager says. I'm not going to get mad at those people. But if you're the fucking manager... and you're lying to me about whether or not how these work? Fuck you. Oh my God. So angry. You know what I mean? To me, this is like a fine thing to get mad about over. Like, that's not even caring. Well, yeah, because I'm being denied a service that I shouldn't be denied. You know what I mean? This isn't like I refuse to wear masks. I didn't like show up with like my own piece of wood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I asked for the bare minimum. I asked for a service that is provided. I spoke to the literal manager and he refused. We spent more time arguing than it would have taken for him to cut the wood. Like, I'm not going to yell at a barista. I'm never going to yell at a barista. I'm not going to yell at like a worker that's working fucking minimum wage. I'm not going to fucking do that. That's fucking cringe. That's stupid. If you do it, I hate you. I am going to yell at the manager who's lying to my face. I was not mad at either of the other workers who were just like, we don't cut it. Because it's like, okay, that's stupid. This has not been my experience. Anyways, sorry. I just want to be very clear. I just want to be very, very clear why I was upset. Okay.
I don't know. It's everything we were saying about like people chirping online and so and so. It's like they're so deliberately not being considerate because the thing they want is to feel good at the sacrifice of like hey man, like yeah, sure, block. Cause I don't know the circumstances of all people's visas. I'm sure there's extenuating circumstances, but like I'm going to cry. Like you keep pushing on this. Most of my life has been spent thinking about this for the last decade. Just don't, man. What do you get out of this? A little feeling, a little flex real quick.
Teaching an undocumented immigrant what's what.
Wait, come to think of it, brother. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Maybe a patriot, I will say. Of course, move all the stuff I said. Cut that out. He was hot. He was so sick.
Yeah, he's actually my king.
He's so epic.
Teaching you a lesson.
Let's just land this plane. Speaking of
should I get my shit together?
Speaking of immigration,
Do you have a printer?
Papers, please. Thanks Hasan for joining us.
Thanks for having me. This was great.
Always a pleasure. Much nicer than the people who hate you online would have you believe. And we will be continuing this podcast on patreon.com/SadBoyz with SadBoyz Nights, the Patreon only exclusive podcast where something exciting is going to happen.
I'll say the thing I definitely didn't say on this.
Yeah,
episode.
we're gonna mud wrestle.
We're gonna mud wrestle. The dogs are gonna be playing.
I want to get Turkish oil wrestling, the superior form of wrestling. Sorry, I was reading chat. Anyways, guys. I think we did it. We fucking did it, guys. We fucking finished a video.
Yeah.
We might have a little cameo from the dogs.
We finished
You can see
an
them
hour and a
comparing
half
size
video.
now,
True, which is